Gigi, so you're the founder of what's called Liberty Candidate. Can you please explain to us what your organization does?
All right, Liberty, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Fine.
All right, Liberty Candidates is an organization that endorses and helps candidates running for office that were inspired by Ron Paul. These are candidates that stepped up because they were Ron Paul supporters and they decided to run for office. It's funny because G. Edward Griffin was talking about that before, that we need to run for office, and they are running for office. In 2010, we had 235 Liberty candidates that ran for office, and we're right now vetting candidates for 2012. I think we've got 30 about now, and a lot of the people that ran before are running again. So these are people that they're running for local office, they're running for federal office, and they are running on a platform that's similar to Ron Paul's. So this is what we need to take our country back.
So what is this vetting process that you present for these candidates?
All right, well, we have a questionnaire. It's a pretty thorough application that asks them questions about sound money, about individual liberty like the Patriot Act, questions about, we even ask them if they understand and know what Agenda 21 is, because we want them to be well-rounded. We have a committee of about 120 people made up of past Liberty candidates, people from Campaign for Liberty, people from different parties, Libertarian Party, Constitution Party, and they vet the candidates. They read the applications and check it against their websites to make sure they're not, just giving us a load trying to get in to be Liberty candidates. And believe me when I tell you, we have not passed a lot of people who have tried to just basically fill it out and think it's not important and they can just answer any way they want. We have some tough committee people.
And so what are some of the main criteria that you hold for some of these candidates that can make or break, whether they get your Liberty candidate endorsement?
All right, well, I mean, if somebody says, well, we need the Patriot Act for certain things, but, they've got to really sound like Ron Paul. They've got to have the same platform as Ron Paul. And we're talking about, non-interventionist foreign policy, sound money, definitely, they don't have to be him exactly, but we want them to have the same convictions as Ron Paul, and not be the kind of candidates that are going to waver on certain platforms and issues.
Yeah. Now you wrote a book on Liberty candidates, is that correct?
I didn't write the book. Here's a copy of it so you can see it. If you see it, I don't know if you see it. It was compiled of 19 Liberty candidates got together and they wrote about different topics, from assigning your team, why they ran for office, what party they ran on and why, how to get started. It's a very inspiring book because most of these candidates ran for the first time and they learned from it, and it's filled with, personal experiences, anecdotes. It's an excellent book. We have an introduction by Adam Kokesh, who also was a Liberty candidate. Tom Woods wrote the foreword. It's the kind of book that if you're going to run for the first time, you might want to pick up this book, and it'll give you some inspiration to do it yourself if you're even a little bit, scared, or you're not sure you want to do it. A lot of people have gotten this book and come up to me and said, you know what, I'm going to run now. So it works.
Now, Gigi, if you can do me a favor, when you lifted up the book, it kind of, there wasn't a clear shot. If you can hold it up to the camera and also tell us the name of this book, and if there's any poignant authors that individuals can look and search, to find this book.
Okay, you can get it on Amazon.com. The title is How to Run for Office on a Liberty Platform. Some of the authors are Steve Sussman, who is running again. He ran for Congress in District 22 in Texas. R.J. Harris, who's running for president on the Libertarian line. He is inspired by Ron Paul, and he's not running against Ron Paul. He's running because of Ron Paul. So, he's the kind of guy that says, look, if Ron Paul for some reason doesn't get the nomination from the GOP, we have a choice of R.J. Harris, who has the same platform. Jen Coffey, who actually won her seat in New Hampshire. Christine Nightingale, Shailene Nightingale, who ran for governor in California. The interesting thing about Liberty candidates is we're issue-oriented. We do not ask what party people are in when they fill out the questionnaire. We don't care. We would like to just get rid of the whole party system. So it really does work by not asking what party people are in. And we've actually had 5 Democrats. We've had a lot of Libertarians, a lot of Republicans, Constitution Party. We haven't had any Green Party yet, or we've had some conservatives. But it's interesting when you don't really care or know what party people are in, and I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I was just going to ask you the question if there's leaning towards any particular candidate or what have you. But I think it'd be, have you ever approached a candidate that you believe is Ron Paul based? Say for someone like Gary Johnson, that has a very similar.
I've actually asked Gary Johnson to fill out the application. A lot of people don't want to fill out the application, and the reason why is because we're transparent. We put all their answers to the questionnaire on our website so that they have to stand by what they say. Gary Johnson is not, he hasn't filled out the questionnaire, and he's got some questionable foreign policy as far as I'm concerned, so I'm really curious how he would answer the questionnaire. I mean, I've seen him have a debate, and he wanted to keep Gitmo open, so, and sort of like humanitarian wars and all that. So I don't know. I don't know if he'd pass our committee, but I'd love him to fill it out.
Well, Gigi, thank you so much for coming. But before you take off, can you give us the website, your website, so that anybody that's interested, they can come, or they can even become get on your panel to do, help with some of the vetting process. They
could go to our website and they can join the committee if they want. Not everybody gets to join the committee either. I really want to know that you're not, a troll. But the website is www.liberty-candidates.org. All right, so remember that little dash in between there.
Okay, Gigi, thank you so much for the good work. This is such a great organization. I'm really happy to hear that you're on board and you're pursuing more candidates like Ron Paul. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.